Hello and welcome to the Open Invite podcast, where hopes and dreams burn into the ashes. No, not really.
Not really, no.
No.
There's those husbands that got us here. Them burning into the ashes is what made us arrive at this point of sat in a shed together
It's true.
recording this.
It's
And
true.
this is take 3.
It is take 3. So we've had. I'm going to put these in the shorts. We've had. What was the first? Peking. It just sounded.
Duck. We had
Yeah.
Peking duck
It sounded
issues.
terrible.
Second one, the doctors rang me.
Yeah.
And then kind of needed to answer it.
And then the third one, the lights fell over.
Oh, yeah, sorry. The second one, the light fell over.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the third one, the doctors rang me. So this is actually take 4.
No way.
Take 4.
4? Lovely.
Quattro.
So, I've got a coffee.
And a cough. And a coffee.
Yeah, I've got
nice.
a cough and a coffee.
Nice.
I've got my monitors. You're probably wondering why I'm not wearing headphones. It's because...
He hates my voice.
No, my son broke his gaming microphone, and these are actually gaming headsets. And they were having arguments about his mic. Now, all I can say is his mic was so bad that I couldn't play with him. When we were the other day, we were doing Battlefield. I was like, dude, I just can't do it. Because it's constantly clicking on and off, transmitting for no apparent reason.
Like old school motorcycling to comms.
Oh, it's just driving me crackers. And it just sounded like he was like trying to talk from the toilets. So I said to him, well, you can borrow one of my headsets. And he was over the moon because he's, believe it or not, I've got a cardio mic that plugs into him. You could do a podcast from those headsets. The mics are that good. So anyway, he's nicked mine. So I'm using some earphones that I use for listening to monitor sound when I'm doing interviews when I'm out and about. However, they're a bit uncomfortable. They're not really meant for sat for an hour with them on, I don't think.
And they don't look, it doesn't look right. Better to see your glorious ears in full.
Yeah, they are. I feel like I have good ears. Although, of late, they've got hairier.
This is the downside of getting older. Like, I can't grow a great big bushy beard like you, but still, I have a single hair that grows on the end of my nose that must be regularly dealt with.
Yeah.
And my left lobe has started to sprout. Not my
right.
right.
Just your left one.
Just my left.
See, I've got the ability to grow hair from every orifice, apart from the top of my head.
Yeah, which I think is your best looking orifice.
Well, and he's seen all of them.
What can I say? That's friendship.
Yeah. It's a gift and a curse at the same time. I mean, I save on haircuts.
Yes. Just shave your head.
I do.
Bish bash bosh.
Or Lids does. And yeah,
Lids started that new line of clothing with the rest of your body hair. Weaving it. You started your own cottage industry.
Oh yeah, it's true.
You molt, and sometimes they shear you.
Yeah, it's
true. Kids all get involved.
Like a sheep.
Yeah.
In winter, I go out in the garden without a shirt on and just roll around and pick all the leaves up.
Yep. And then sometimes they'll find you just laid in the snow like a husky.
It's true.
Just laid there.
Oh gosh. What was I going to say? I'm going on holiday on Sunday.
I know. Tell us where you're going.
I'm going to Tenerife.
Oh, the black sand of Tenerife.
All of it.
Oh, I went to Tenerife once.
Did you?
I did in 2006, I think. Somewhere around then.
Wow.
And I didn't have a very nice time. But that was because of me. It's my fault. Because it's a lovely place.
Who did you go with?
With somebody.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And their family.
Oh, no.
No, and their family are lovely. Like, no problems at all. It was me. I was really... Back then, I did this weird thing that I would do, which was when I felt out of my depth, I'd shut down. But I wouldn't have been able to tell you that then. I wouldn't have been able to articulate what was wrong. But when I felt really out of my depth and really uncomfortable, I would just shut down. I wouldn't know what to do, and I wouldn't want to do anything. I'd want to hide.
Yeah.
And it's very strange, but it meant that I came across like a complete idiot on that holiday.
Well, I can relate because I struggled really bad with, so for those that don't know, I married into like the world's largest family, it
The
feels like.
Weasleys.
Yeah, the Weasleys.
You married
It's
into the
like,
Weasleys.
yeah, they're just like, they're very close. It's a big family. And my family were not that at all. Like, it was me, my dad, and my mum. And I really, really struggled with, um, with any family interaction, like a big family meal or whatever. It was all right if I wasn't directly connected to the family. So, like, coming to your
Hmm.
house at Christmas was fine because weirdly, I'm not attached to the family as such by blood.
It's funny. I think you're right. I would have been the same. It's
Yeah,
something strange about because I was with this girl. Maybe that's added something to
yeah,
it. It
it
was
was
weird.
really
It was like
strange.
my confidence would just completely
Yeah, yeah.
disappear, but then I would shut down. So I remember that there was comments about me being lazy because I didn't do anything. I didn't help. I didn't offer to cook. I didn't offer to clean up. It's like I
Mind you,
got
I do that now, but that's because if I get involved, I get told off.
right. Well, no,
You're
this
not
is
doing it right. We do it like this. I'm
yeah.
like, okay, well, you can do all of it then, because I
But
ain't
yeah,
doing
but
it.
no, I just completely shut down. So it was a weird week.
It's
I
strange,
think
isn't
also
it?
as well, I knew I shouldn't have gone.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
I had all that going on in my head as
yeah,
well. But no, Tenerife was beautiful, and the black sand is so like bizarre.
yeah. It's all lava, isn't it?
Mm.
Lava.
It's meant to be good for asthmatics, isn't it, Tenerife?
Is it really?
Yeah, supposedly.
Well, let's see. Me and Cobes should be winner chicken dinner. So he's super excited. Mikey is, like Mike is just like low key, keeps everything behind a wall of naughtiness. So he's excited, but he's kind of, you
Trying to play
just see
cool.
like little, yeah, you
He's
see
kind of
little flashes of, oh, I don't know what to do with my feelings. Casey's in London today, so she's gone on a school trip.
to nod no.
She's been to Paris last week.
Or did she go with
School, yeah.
yes, no, somebody else that did that
Yeah,
too.
Bethany did it,
Yeah.
didn't she? Yeah. So that's been good. But yeah, I'm excited. So for those that don't know, um, I think I think this is something I got off you. We have this thing in the UK that you're not doing well, or you have a right to having a big holiday once a year. Like, you hear people moan like, "Oh, and I haven't had a big holiday. I haven't been able to go abroad this year." Blah 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 blah. And actually, the reality is most people can't afford to go abroad.
No, and you think about it, our generation lived in a very unusual time, like cheap airfare,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like pre kind of mid 90s. Only only people with some money
Really,
went
yeah,
abroad.
yeah. It's true. Yeah. So I think we have this like
We feel like
we
it's not a right, but we
yeah, but
feel
oh
like it's what you should be able to do.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but so my eldest is 15. This is the first ever package holiday we've ever been on
Yeah.
because we've never been able to afford it.
No, you think you've got five. There's five of us. The last time I went abroad for a package holiday was pre kids.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what's it going to cost? I mean, I'm not asking you
Well,
for what it cost you.
I got a deal on it.
Are you
Um,
self catering?
no, all inclusive.
No,
Yeah, all
I didn't
inclusive.
realize.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
nice.
Well, so we went. So I love it. Right, Lids is not into all inclusive. She's like,
Well, she's a Weasley.
yeah, she's like, well,
She's
we'll cook for ourselves. We'll go to the local supermarket. Blah 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 blah. And then, but she likes pool holidays, doing not a lot. That is ideal for her.
I thought you said poor holidays.
Pool
She
holidays,
likes doing poor holidays.
yeah, where we
Well, you
go.
just like sit in a caravan in the rain.
We've done them.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyway, she was never really bothered for all inclusive, thought it was too expensive. Now I'm the other end, where I've been on some horror holidays, and I've ended up paying more out for food and stuff when you're there, and then run out of money on holiday,
Yeah,
which
man.
is flipping the
When you
worst.
go, you're right. When you go on all inclusive, well, I just need this for the airports.
Yeah,
That's it. And actually, we
yeah,
don't need any money. And
mm-mm.
yeah, it's a revelation to me because I was more like Lids
Yeah, yeah,
and Georgina's more like you.
yeah,
And then I was like, yeah, yes, you got to fork out, but you know what you're spending.
exactly. And then, yeah, the first time me and Lids went and did all inclusive was for our mate's wedding in Greece, and we had loads of spare money at the end of the week and bought the kids loads of stuff, and we did loads of stuff, and went like hired a boat and just did loads of mad things. And she was like, "That was amazing," and the all inclusive food. It's funny because it wasn't a flash place, but it was all local produce, like the olives. They were huge. They still had the stone in them. It was all really nice, and the local beer and wine was fine. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's not. It's just watered down." So, well, they don't really water it down as such because that's not how it works in beer. Um, but at the same time, it's just these. I feel that comes from like the Carling people. Oh, it's not Carling. Oh, it's some local awful beer.
Isn't like from their kind of advertising.
Yeah, it'll just be a locally
I
made
remember
one.
people saying that as well. Oh, yeah, like our honeymoon in Mexico, people
Me.
would rave because you got Jack Daniels. Like it was all the labeled stuff. It wasn't,
Mm,
it's not one of the, and I almost got on that bandwagon. But then when you think about it, you're like, well, what is it? Like we also have this weird thing of thinking the thing that we have
is the
is
best.
the best. And then
Yeah,
when you go to places and you have local stuff, you're like, oh my word, this not all of it, but something like
yeah.
this is incredible. Yeah.
So for five of us, including flights, two big bags because Ryanair just shafts you on the luggage. 2,700.
No,
Yeah,
for a week,
for a week for all of us.
under £3
Yeah,
for 5 of you,
yeah,
all inclusive.
yeah. The only thing we've bought is travel insurance, um, Liverpool airport parking, which there's a not sponsored by them, but there's an app called Just Park, and I saved a fortune by going through that.
Mm.
So I actually got parking for less than £100 in the airport's car park.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I don't have to do the shuttle thing. Last time it cost me more than £100, and we had to go to some random car park in Liverpool and then be shuttled in. So yeah, that app is amazing. I could even have parked the car on someone's drive just down the road from the airport and just walked up, but I didn't want to do it with all the kids.
That's clever. Also,
Yeah,
some
so
people are hiring out their
yeah,
drives.
driveways. Yeah, it's called
Ah.
Just Park. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then there is the only other thing was the cost of the transfers. So they were 22 pound or something like that. But then by the time you go through it, you get sales tax at the end of.
How is that not included in the package?
It just isn't. They don't. Well, you can include it as you go through and click it. Like, do you want this? Do you want that? But I thought it was 22 quid for all of us. I thought, yeah, that's all right. It's not. It's £22 each way.
It's like another 200 quid.
Yeah, 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 for a coach ride. And I thought, sod that. So,
It's not going to cost you 200 quid for a taxi, is it? There and
no,
back.
no. Well, I ended up going on to YouTube because you know me.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And we went looking at all where we were going and the hotel and all the stuff. And then this guy in there was like, "Oh, these are the hire companies I recommend. These are the ones that you're not going to get stung by." So I said to Liz, "Well, let's have a look at how much a hire car is." Um, and it was €130 with the extra insurance.
So you hired a car?
So I've hired a car, yeah,
No
yeah,
way.
yeah. So we've got a little Citroen to bez round the island on. So I mean, it does. Even if because people are like, "Oh, they'll sting you on fuel." I'm like, I don't mind filling it up. But like, it's not mad
No, because
expensive
it's
for
it's not
fuel.
just it's not just by the time you finish that you'll have spent what you spent on your transfer. It's like, well, yeah, but I have a car. Like all week I can go
Yeah,
anywhere I want on the island.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
So I mean, there's a trip that you can do where you go up the volcano, and you can see the stars, and it's quite expensive really when you times it by 5. You just jump in the car and go up there ourselves.
Mm.
And just go and have a look. We don't have to pay all the money. And
I seem to remember when I was there as well, you could do boat rides to go and swim with dolphins.
yes, they've got that. Now that is expensive. Even if we get a deal, it's still like it's like 160 quid.
It's when you got 5 of us, isn't it?
Well, this is where he gets it. And children, this is the con. So children are classed not under 18 or under 16. It's under 12.
Yeah, so all your kids are now adults. It's
Yeah.
like 5 adult tickets.
Yeah, so the boat thing is very expensive. So we go into Siam Park. So the minute we said where we were going, Kobe goes, "Oh, it's got the best water park in the world there." And I was like, I remember a water park being there from when my mate growing up went to Tenerife. There was a water park and stuff. I was like, what is this voodoo?
Yeah, it was like there's nothing like that, was there, when we were kids?
No, we had like 3 flumes at our local thing, and that was mega.
Yeah, we didn't have any water slides. You got to go to Barnes and Metrodome if you wanted to do water slides.
Yeah. Well, that was better than the one we had down south.
Yeah.
We had King Alfred's.
There was a big one in Newcastle, I remember, or somewhere in the northeast that we went to once as a youth group, and I remember being like, "This place is incredible."
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I looked at Siam Park. Flipping heck, it's expensive for 5, talking over 200 quid. Yeah, and that's without food. If you go for the whole day, you can buy a food package and all I mean, there's so much different options. I mean, admittedly, it's the best one in the world, and everybody says it's the best one in the world. So it's not like it's not. It's like passing
Amazing.
off. It's okay.
But
It is
200
genuinely
quid for a trip to water.
So then I made a bit of money this month, and I thought, sack it, I'm going to book it. But just before I did, I went online, and me and Lids were watching a video, and a guy is called Night Strider, which is a great name, isn't it?
It's great.
And he's got businesses out in Tenerife, and he goes around and he promotes all the stuff. Some people don't like it. It's like Kobe doesn't like me watching too much of where we're going on holiday because he said it ruins the surprise. But then I have this thing where I enjoy the build up to it.
Yeah.
Like a bit like Christmas. I like to know what I'm getting. Like I like to research all the things that I'm going to get for other people and the things that people might buy. Like they say, "What do you want?" I've already like completely researched what I want. You know what I mean? I'm like, I enjoy that part of it. And anyway, they open this park at night. Open it at night for 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
And they have DJs and laser shows, and there's this massive, like an Aztec mountain that you slide down, and then it goes under the water through a shark tank and then spits you out down the bottom. But they have flame machines and lasers and smoke as you go down. I was like, this is amazing. Lazy River, all the inflatables are lit up as you go down. Yeah. And as a parent and a husband of many gingers, I was
yes,
this is going to be safer.
Got to keep the Weasleys safe.
Yeah, keep them out of the sun. So anyway, I put that.
Is that cheaper?
Well, YouTube again. I went on there. There's a guy, I've forgotten his name now. He has an app called Travel On. If you're going out that kind of way, Canaries, Lanzarote, and all that jazz, he does an app, and you can book all your stuff on there. I got a voucher code, and it came out at like under 200. So, yeah, YouTube saved me a good chunk of
there you go.
change.
And I'm with you, mate. You know, I would have never planned or thought ahead, and then I remember going to Poland. Went to Krakow or Krakow, I believe is how they actually pronounce it, with Ben, and he had a guidebook. So this is like 2008, and it sold me because he'd flicked through it and was like, I thought we could do this, this, and this. Whereas I realized I spent so many of my holidays kind of you explore in the first day because you have to, because you don't know anything, And then what you find in that first day, that's pretty much all you do
Yeah,
for
yeah,
your
yeah,
time there.
yeah,
Whereas, like you say, if you do some prep, and also I think it lowers any it lowers like hesitancy. You're like, no, I got a sense of the island,
yeah,
and I'm like, I've booked it. Even if I'm not paid for it, I've booked it in our minds. We're going to do this, this, and this. You're not kind of like I didn't rock up, sit there, and go, right, well, what what should we do?
mm.
Because I think, from my experience, often you then won't do anything.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you,
Whereas,
100%.
like when and I would the same. For me though, it's more that kind of it give me a peace. Like I've got a sense of the place, and I've seen a few things, and I've listened to other people. I've read a guidebook if it's back in the day, so I've got recommendation. I know that they're kind of safe, or they're going to be super fun, or whatever it is, and then I'm more excited for it then, rather than that trepidation of I'm going to turn up to an all-inclusive place with a swimming pool with 3 young children
Yeah, and not have a clue.
and not have a clue what I'm doing for the next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, how's that going to go? Am I just going to, I mean, your kids are older. Am I just going to spend a week
Running after them.
running after the kids, because I haven't got a sense of it? So, no, I get that.
Yeah.
I would do that now.
It's good, and I would recommend it to people. Like, the other thing it saved us is the hotel debacle, and all I can say is they all do it. Every travel agent does it. They show you, like, the, even the one we booked in, this is right by the beach. The beach, you can't get to the beach because you're on top of a cliff.
So, you are right by it.
You're right by it. You can't get to it, and actually, it's further inland. But it doesn't really matter. But the beauty of it is you can find your hotel, and now you can find people that have gone there and reviewed it. So we looked at, there was a cheaper deal, and I was like, oh, that looks all right. And then when I looked, it was like right on the strip where it all goes, like a party capital. Which is, if you're going as a group of lads, like if it was like you, me, and I don't know, Gary and Jim and whatever going, great, fine, no problem, I'm up for that. But when you've got 3 young kids, I'm like, I don't really want to take my kids there.
No.
But you wouldn't have known looking at any of the advertisements that it was near like the club capital of the island.
Yes, because when I went, I was in a different area of the
Yeah.
island from that.
And then there was another hotel, but it the reviews were hilarious. They're like, hey, the hotel is okay, but it is a bit like being in a nursing home because it's all old people. So if you've got kids, it's probably not the one, because there's only one small pool and it's all old people just like doddering about. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's probably a bit too far the other way.
Yeah.
Then we found this other one. So where we're at is a fishing village. So the hotel is like apartments. It's dated. I mean, it's really dated. But it's clean. And the food, everyone says the food's great. So I'm like, well, that'll do. Because, I mean, how often are you in your room? Like, unless you're ill, which I don't plan on being ill.
No. As long as you got aircon.
No aircon. No aircon. None of that. No.
No.
No. And I thought about this. And it's quite common in Tenerife for them not to have aircon, and the reason is because the ones by the beach is quite windy.
You got a constant sea breeze.
You got a constant breeze, and the way that they design them, they're not that hot. So, I mean, temperature here has been higher than Tenerife.
Yeah.
And we've been fine. So I'm not that bothered.
No,
Not for that money. And my kids sleep fine in the heat, so. If they were little, it'd be a different story.
Gosh, yeah.
But it's got 3 swimming pools.
Oh, nice. It's a big complex.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have to test every one of them.
Yeah, all inclusive is awesome. I'd
great.
never done it until I got married. I was Scotland in a caravan.
Man, I love Scotland.
That was my life, baby.
There's nothing wrong with Scotland in a caravan.
Our summer holidays would consist of looking for where the sky looked the brightest and driving towards there. And fighting midges.
Yeah.
And wading in cold locks, and it's in me. Like
Haven Holiday Disco.
I never went to Haven Holiday.
Did you not?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
But we did. Because my mum's family, I think one of the members of that family was a farmer, and he had a little spit of land on the banks of Loch Eel.
Oh wow!
So we go there. But Georgina was brought up going to Florida to see her grandparents every year. So her summer holidays were like 2-3 weeks in Florida every year.
Goodness me.
And I'm like, well, I was thinking, I've seen a really lovely chalet. And she's like, why can we not just go all inclusive abroad? So yeah, when we got married, she wanted all inclusive, and I was a bit like, oh, what's wrong with self-catering? Like, and then we did it, and I was like, oh my word,
it's
amazing.
amazing.
I could just eat when I want, and I could drink. What? It was incredible.
The funniest was Mike was watching it when the food bit. So for those that don't know, Mike's got a bit of an attachment with food. He just really loves it, doesn't he? And anyway, they were doing the food, and it was this woman showing the buffet, and it was all the puddings, and he was like, "Oh, look at all those, Dad!" And then there were like 5 different coloured jellies and things like that, and he was like, "Wow, look at that, look at that!" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You can go up, and you can pick any one you like." He was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." And then when you've eaten it and you want another one, you just go up and get another one. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah."
He's like,
I said, "If you want to get up 8 times, you can do. No one's going to stop you." And he was like, "No way." And he was like, "Wow."
yeah.
And then they've watched another vlog of this guy and his kids had, they've got slushies and they don't charge you for the slushies. They're like, "We get free slushies." Because slushies are well expensive.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you, but when you go anywhere with kids, it's like
it's
slushie's like
syrup
£4.
Syrup and crushed ice, and it's an absolute fortune.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they're going to love that. So I'm very excited. But this week, I am so booked up to the nines. It is unbelievable. And so, I don't know about you, but have you had it where you've gone on a holiday and you've been so traumatized on the lead up to the holiday and during the holiday? So I had this with France when we went and saw Kaz and Zav. So we had problems with the passport for Micah.
Oh yeah, you had a nightmare. You had to go. You ended up flying over later, didn't you?
Yeah. So me and Casey and Kobe had to go over there first, fly over. I got the hire car when we were there, and then Lids and Micah were stuck here. They missed 2 days of their holiday, so we had to buy another set of flights. Then she rings me. Oh, the car's blown up. So the Tiguan, the oil pump failed. Luckily, it didn't blow the engine up, but so that was done. So that all had to be rebuilt. So I had to buy another car whilst I was there. So luckily, Lydia's cousin came in clutch. He had a C-Max, so bought that off him. I said, "Look, I've got no money." And he was like, "It's fine. Just pay me when you got it." So got a C-Max. Then, so I was traumatised by that. And then I got a chip in the windscreen on the hire car.
Oof.
And it was tiny, tiny, tiny chip, but it was right in the driver's view. And I looked, and everything said you had to pay for the windscreen. I was like, "Oh no!" And anyway, me and Zav bought a kit where you put resin in, like a windscreen repair kit, and I repaired it, and it made the whole thing shrink, so it was even smaller. And it also stops it from like getting any worse. It hadn't gone through; it had just got the first layer of glass. It hadn't really gone all the way through. But the whole week, all I did was worry about that hire car, thinking, if I take this back, they're gonna be like. So when I took it back, Zav said, "Well, why don't you give it a wash?" And I was like, "You know what? If I take it back too clean, it looks sus." So we took, I wiped it down so it wasn't too bad. Took it back. The guy, oh man, it was God, honestly, because I was like, it doesn't affect the car in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to fail a test, all right? It wouldn't even fail an MOT for it. It's so tiny. But if they wanted to be funny about it,
yeah, they could be.
And I wouldn't say like. No. I'd have to pay, wouldn't I? But like the excess was insane. It's like 1,600 quid. Yeah, and I didn't know this when this is why I always say check your contract. And even now with the going on holiday, I've got a separate policy that I bought for a tenner to cover the hire car. So even though they give their extra insurance, I've got another policy as well. So anyway, I took the car in. And there was one bloke on the left with this couple, and he was like all over that car, checking every nook and cranny, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I just rolled in with all the kids, all the luggage, everything else. So I gave him the keys. I was like, yeah, it's out there. He went out. He was back in 2 minutes. He was like, yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, cheers. And there was like, I said, I was honest with him because there was damage on the wheel. And I said, there's damage on that front left. And I said, but I think I might have touched it as well. And he went out and he was like, it don't look any worse. Don't worry about it. But then I'm still panicking because they can still say after, hey, we found this damage once you've gone.
Oh, can they?
Yep. Anyway, got on the plane, flew back, and then I just saw the money go back in my account. I was like,
but it's like no fun, is it? It's not a fun holiday, is it?
no.
Like everything is just, yeah, it feels like, yeah. Sometimes I feel, I'm not saying this about that holiday, but it's made me think like sometimes we force things and ultimately we shouldn't have done it. Ultimately, if we just stepped back from it and just prayed about it, like the car, we wanted to get another car, and we've stopped looking.
Yeah,
because I was like, this shouldn't be so difficult. Even making a choice of what we want, or we don't know, and everything's hard work, and I'm like, I mean, as a Christian, like when God's involved,
yeah,
things are just smooth. I remember years and years ago when we just had my oldest, just the one little one. She was only 2, and we wanted to go on holiday desperately. We had 400 quid, and we just like, Lord, we just really want to go on holiday, and I just pray you would point us to it. And then George was like, babe, like within an hour, I found this caravan, and look, the woman who owns it is called Georgina. It's called Gina. And we were like, I was like, well, maybe it's a sign. Let's just push it. And it was so easy. It was like we almost just fell through a door and we were suddenly imbued.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And we had just the most wonderful week. And I think sometimes you get those moments where you go, this was that. Was this, have we pushed something? I'm not saying about your holiday, but it just made me think about that.
no, but you're right, because
Those moments where
I
you're just
felt
like,
like that.
Lord, should I have prayed? Have I forced something because I wanted it? And actually, and people are going to be like, what? It's just a holiday. And I don't mean that God's against it. I don't mean that. I just mean that you're trying something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like the Holy Spirit's just going, no,
Mm.
don't do that.
Don't push it.
Don't push it. You don't want that. It's not going to go well. You're going to have issues with the passport or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Or for us, like, yeah, you're going to get rid of that car, but I promise you that car's not going to break again. I got you that, like, wherever it might be, you don't know. But what you're like, it's like slogging through sludge trying to get this done.
See, the funny bit was the passport thing. We had a massive row, me and Liz. Well, not that we row very often, but we had a proper disagreement over it.
No, I remember.
Because I could have got it sorted. She wanted to say, no, we do it like this and blah, blah. I said, yeah, but it'll never come in time. Yeah, it will. We've got this much time. Yeah, as long as you're on it and you're not on it. Like, if you let me deal with it, that passport will be here. Oh, yeah, but, you do it, your way and it's a bit, she was basically saying that the way I do it was a bit dishonest. But it wasn't. It was all to do with court papers, basically. The court had messed up the names and the gender. They just needed correcting on the document. So I said, I'll just correct the document so it's right and send it. And she was like, no, you've got to get the court to do it, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, she's right, yes.
She's right, but the court were useless. So it ended up, I honestly don't understand how these people have jobs. It was really simple. And she explained it 4 times to this lady on the phone. And each time she didn't understand. So in the end, I said, Liz, tell her that you'll drive down to the office and you'll write it for her. So Liz literally went to court, went to the office, sat down at a computer and corrected the document. That's flipping pathetic.
That's madness, isn't it?
And it wasn't even that hard, honestly. And I said, so she said, well, if we'd done it your way, I said, well, they wouldn't have even queried it. Because it would have looked exactly the same. It would have been all the right details. And then when we got back, we could have sorted the court paper out correctly. And there wouldn't be the pressure. And she's like, yeah, but it's not honest. And I was like, well, I agree with you.
I remember years ago, George, you and I went on a holiday. And I didn't want to go. It just didn't feel right. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a long time ago, but I remember. But Georgina really wanted to go. She always wanted to go away, which is by no means a problem. But this one didn't feel right, so we booked this place, and oh gosh, it was horrible.
Oh no!
And we had a horrible week. We both put on like a stone
Because you just ate because you were fed
we
up.
just like ate because we were fed up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what have we done? What have we done? We did another one as well. I don't know how we got to holidays, but where it felt kind of forced, and we forced it. We ended up coming home on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was like, we just need to go. Let's just go. This is not working. It's awful.
Well, this one I've gone all out in that I've made sure that I've kind of, what's the word, pre-planned everything.
Well, I remember you saying, if I remember rightly, didn't you? You were like, Lord, I just really want to go on a family holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
And then somebody offered you the money for a
Yeah,
family
yeah.
holiday. Like, for me, that's the definition of, like you see, you just fall through and suddenly you're in Tenerife.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nothing's hard work.
No, no.
Everything just
So,
flows and is lovely. And you go with a real peace, and then you have a wonderful time.
I mean, I'll tell. I don't mind telling the viewers what happened. So,
Don't tell them about your late night dancing.
a bit late night.
Look, let's leave it.
My
Somebody gave you
my
some
only
money.
feet account. No.
Somebody
So
gave you some money. Yeah, yes, it may have been tucked in the waistband of your boxers.
no, it wasn't. So what happened was, so Lydia's dad has had cancer. It's been a real horrendous time for them as a family. Well, I include myself in that. As a family, it's been really tough. It was an awful experience, and he nearly died twice.
Mm-hmm.
And like Lid's got called out in the night to basically say her goodbyes kind of thing. It's just awful, and it stressed the kids out. Flipping school did my head in, as you know, my opinion on school. But the boys were being naughty and they were just on them, and I had to tell the school, I was like, there's stuff going on. It's got nothing to do with you, but you need to lay off them. And they were like, oh right, okay. And yeah, it was just rough. It's been really, really rough. So all I've done, I can't deal with hospitals, so I've been daddy daycare in the background, facilitating everything else so that my wife can do what she needs to do. So yeah, it's just we've had a really, really stressful time. It's been flipping awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds really selfish. He's all right now. He got the all clear. So he's doing great. He hasn't got to do chemo again. So everything's fantastic. But, you know, I just wanted them to have a break because it's just been tough. And I was like, Lord, please, I just want to take him away and just have a real good fun holiday. And where we just don't have to stress and worry about money and this, that, and the other, and budget when we're there and all that. I just don't want to do a holiday like that. And then I didn't really think any more of it. And then I really felt pressed just to speak to my mum and stepdad about it. So I chatted with them, and they're like, "Yeah, fine." Like no kind of like, oh well, conditions attached. So they're like, "Yeah, yeah, go for it. Yeah, well, we've just sent you the money. That was it. Done." And they were just amazing. So, and the kids have been so excited. And actually, it's been really nice because I told the kids, I was like, hey, Grandma and they call him Uncle Dave, even though he's not an uncle. But
Like
they've given us the money to go, and so they're like, oh, that's so cool. So it's deepened their relationship with them as well. So yeah, it's been really nice.
yeah, man.
And you can just feel like everything's there. So now this week, it feels like it's going in slow motion. But there's this thing in me at the moment where I'm waiting for everything to go wrong so that I'm stressed out. So like today, I've got to take the C-Max in for MOT. Yesterday I was filming and I need to edit a bunch of videos. But it won't take, it's not the end of the world. Then we're doing this. Then tomorrow I kind of penciled in that if anything goes wrong on the car today, I'll have a day to fix it. And then I'm off to London on Friday morning, and into Saturday. I don't get back from London Craft Beer Festival until 7:30 at night, and then we're flying. I've got to be gone at 10:30 on Saturday morning. Oh no, hang on a minute. Yeah, on Sunday morning. Yeah,
Yeah.
we leave here at 10:30. So it's all manic. I've got 3 days in the middle, but then they just fill up with stuff. So yeah, it's
Just gotta chill. Just gotta like
yeah.
deep breaths. God's got this.
And then this morning I came in, one of these monitors played up and wouldn't come on. It was all going wrong, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh no, oh here we go. It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. That's not trusting God, is it?
It's not, and you know, isn't it? You know, you have this. It's like it's trying to protect yourself, but it's motivated in fear, isn't it? Because
Oh,
I have
100%,
exactly the
yeah.
same thing. It's more. There's other ways to frame it, but ultimately, it's fear that sits there, and it makes it comes out in different people in different ways, but you start to prepare for the worst, you know, and then you might start to try and not you, but generally, like you can make it quite controlling
Yeah.
because then you want to control things. Makes me search for peace and for like safety. Like if I've got to find some peace, safety. That could be wonderful, but lots of things could go wrong. You know, it's all subconscious. It's not conscious.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's the big thing that God's. That's the big thing, isn't it, about being a Christian? Is that you surrender your life.
Yeah.
So you surrender control. And if you can achieve it, like in this, and I don't mean like a religious thing, like, or a spiritual thing where I meditate daily and I just surrender control to the universe. I mean, like you're saying, God, I know you love me and I know that you will guide me, protect me, show me what to do, whatever it might be. So I am actively like a child, like our kids trust us.
Mm.
I am just going to not worry. But it's easier said than done. You know,
Especially like,
but God takes you through stuff, doesn't he?
well, you know me well, and you know what a control freak I am.
Yeah, well, and I want to be in control as well. It manifests, to use the term, differently in us,
Mm.
but it's a similar thing. I've been really struggling of late with horrendous fear, just like waking up in the morning, just like not in my stomach, like I'm about to do an exam that means everything that I'm not prepped for, or I'm about to walk on stage and perform for a show that I don't know the lines for, or you know, like that. It sits there all day, and they've had points where it's been almost debilitating. And I'm like, what is going on? And you know, there are reasons. We've walked through a really tough, very tough year or two. So there's reasons for it. You know, like you know, well, you've had this, and that means that your body is in that high cortisol flight
Yeah,
or
I was
fight
going to say
mode.
cortisol.
Yeah, and then therefore
Yeah.
you're looking for it. But ultimately, as a Christian, it still boils down to you need to put your eyes on the Lord and you need to surrender. And I did this the other day. I was out walking and praying, and it just came to me. I was just like, yeah, you're right, Lord. I'm sorry. I surrender. Surrender. You got this. Like you've got. I don't need to
Yeah.
worry. And that in its very self lifted so much fear.
Yeah.
But you see, it's easy to pick it up, isn't it? It's easy to pick it up. It's an element of control.
Yeah.
You know, like for you, like I think things are going to go wrong, so I'm going to prep for it. But it's motivated in the wrong way,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
arguably it then ruins your week leading up to your holiday.
Yeah.
Makes you, it can make you stressy, fearful, short-tempered. Everything then becomes hard rather than a joy because
Yeah.
you're constantly waiting for it to go wrong. And you can't be any more prepped. All you're prepping is your brain. Like it's not giving you the ability to put things in place
No,
because do you
not
know what I
at all.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I
yeah,
know
it's like
exactly what you mean.
so it's like a completely negative thing. It has no positives.
No, although I enjoy going and looking and being nosy and working everything out. Although I will say, I mean, yeah, with that, I mean, there's loads of. I was thinking about it the other day. There's loads of possible outcomes that could ruin it, and that's where, like I said to Liz, oh man, what if we get like some flipping chavs from wherever next door that are shouting and screaming and bawling all day and night. I said that, and she said, well, then we just asked to be moved.
Yeah, but you see,
It's so chilled about it, but I'm thinking about these things, and I'm like, well, why don't I just trust God that we'll have the most awesome room, that we'll probably get upgrades, that everything will go all right, because He's obviously got His hand on it.
yeah, exactly.
And so,
And it's a different type of fighting as a Christian.
yeah,
So like you're almost, and I don't mean it's like me and you we're prepping like somebody in the world.
yeah,
Whereas the Bible's really clear. It doesn't say to be passive.
no,
Like waiting on the Lord is not a passive thing, it's active.
yeah,
But it's the idea of, no, you don't need to prep this, this, and this. You need to just get on your knees and turn your eyes to God. And then you let Him do the rest. But it's just as active as all the prepping. But the prepping is more part of our natural human nature.
yeah,
It
yeah,
feels more natural to us, and it's about control, isn't it?
yeah,
Whereas the other one is just as active and just as purposeful, but harder for us because it's not tangible, it's not concrete, and our own, I guess, our own souls fight against it, don't they?
yeah. Well, it's flesh, isn't it? Because you don't want the trauma. You don't want it to all go wrong when you're there and all that kind of stuff. It's silly stuff. It's like I've done everything. I've been active in that. The things that need doing, travel insurance, making sure the hire car's
Yeah,
got
exactly.
insurance.
You've done the
Well, I've done
stuff.
the stuff that you would normally do for a holiday, but all the other stuff is absolutely out of my control. I mean, there's all sorts of things. Like we're going on Ryanair, it could be full of a load of lager louts, and then we end up having to land because somebody's had too much to drink, or like we could end up with. We were like, I got really sick last week. Kobe's been ill. Casey ripped a nail off last night. Like all these little things, and I'm like, I don't want to be ill on holiday. The last place you want to be ill is on holiday.
No.
And I'm thinking about that, and then I'm thinking about just like really, like there's so much that's out of our control. And I just said to Liz, I'm just not going to think about it. There's no point in thinking about any of these things. The main thing is that this, I think, it's like the car going for the MOT today it's not due. It's not due until we get back. But the reason I want to put it in for test is because I don't want it sitting over my head that when we get back off holiday, I've got 2 days to get the car MOT'd and possibly end up having to buy another car or spend a load of money on it or whatever it is. So I said, I'm just going to get it tested before I go, and then it's done. And Liz was like, yeah, I don't blame you. Because I was like, I just don't want to come back to any
No, but
any stress.
yeah, and the guys will test it, and it might be that it, like you're praying, it passes. And you're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm hoping. So it's being proactive, but then not taking it into your own hands and trying to force it. It's a real balance,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is. Yeah, it's like you don't sit there so stupid you don't even pack a bag
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
put
yeah,
fuel in the car.
yeah, yeah,
But at the same time, if you just keep picking stuff up, it's like it ruins your joy because you're just waiting,
yeah. Literally
just waiting.
waiting to be let down. I think
yeah,
that's the thing.
waiting for it to go wrong, waiting for it, like to that feeling inside you to be proved right.
And Casey said, "Oh, you were so stressy when we went on holiday to France. In the airport, you were like, right, we're going here, we're doing that." And I was like, "Yeah, but," I said, "you've got to understand it from my point of view." I said, "We were at like high level of stress. Mum's not with me. Micah's not with me. Car's blown up. I had like money issues going on in the background. And then neither of you have been on an aeroplane. You have no idea what an airport is. And you're just like doing silly stuff." And I said, all I wanted to do was just get through passport control, and then we could chill. And I said, went to Weatherspoons, and we had food, and then we went to the gate, and she goes, yeah, yeah, but you were stressed all the way up to it. And I was like, yeah, that's because I was just in dad mode. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like when I'm doing work stuff, I'm like that. I'm like, right, I've got to get all my ducks in a row. Once I've done it, I can relax. But you've got to knuckle down for that little bit, and yeah, I didn't realise I stressed her out so badly. Coase was like, not bothered, but so I said, well, this time would be very different because I've changed how we've done it. So hopefully, I shouldn't be that stressed.
No, hopefully it's gonna be an amazing time.
Yeah.
Trust it, give it to God, and then do the prep that you need to do, and then give it to God. And I think you're just gonna have a wonderful time, mate.
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be really good. I mean, don't get me wrong. We had a great time in France. It was so good to spend time with Zav and Kaz and the kids, and it was an amazing holiday. Absolutely, would not do it again. But I went through all that, and I remember sat there going, Lord, why am I going through this? I don't understand. But now this time round, I feel like it's just there's a load of things that I've done differently this time from the one before. Yeah, I'm not travelled either.
No, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it?
The thing is, you walk through things, and then you come to do things that you're like, this shouldn't. Why am I being like this? That you remember an older version of you that would have just skipped onto the plane and skipped. I feel like, what has happened? And
it's weird, isn't it?
Oh,
oh, his wife's ringing him. He's in trouble. I've got another 10 minutes. We've got another 10 minutes of this podcast before we can talk to wives.
Yes. Because the shed is heating up.
It is heating up, yeah. I think we'll do this 10 minutes and then, call it a day.
Yeah, man.
But, yeah, so if you're out there and you're going on holiday, my advice would be YouTube, find out all your information, but don't stress about it.
Yeah, and don't force it.
Yeah, don't force
if you're forcing it, then you're not going to have a good time, and you're going to think to yourself, I could have used that money.
Yeah.
For something else.
Yeah.
I'd like us to go where George, we haven't got the money, and in all honesty, if somebody gave us like a serious chunk of money, I'd have to pay off debt with it.
Yeah.
That we accrued on our wilderness journey, but we've said we've booked 2 weeks off, and we're gonna stay at home. I was like, we're gonna do like no doom scrolling. We're gonna eat well. We're gonna plan in days out, and we're gonna treat it as if our house was an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And then we've just turned up, and we're not gonna fall into those old patterns, and we're just gonna try and have 2 weeks where we just proper rest,
have fun,
and have fun. And to do that, I'll have to plan, because if you don't plan, you don't do anything. So there's things that I want us to do that I know are really good for us, not just days out, but like a bit of schedule, a bit of structure, because just enough that it gives you peace.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you never feel lost. You're like, oh no, like that was good. You know, the kids get a bit of telly time in the morning, but it's not just keeps going until it peters out, and then you're like, oh, what are we going to do now? It's not quite lunch. Like, have a decent sense of, well, they can watch a couple hours telly, and then we all going to sit around the table and we can do this, and that's kind of a basic morning structure. And then
have you seen that water park at Scarborough's been taken over by the council now, and apparently it's quite cheap to go.
Oh really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, what was it called?
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, it was something Alpamare. It was French, and they built this massive water park. Anyway, it went bust. We got Karen there really bad.
Oh, did you?
Oh, mate, it was my first ever proper being Karen experience.
By another Karen.
Cheers. No, it was the weirdest experience. I've never come across anything like it. So we went, and they've got like an outdoor hot pool and a huge, like massive equivalent, like a hot tub that's the size of a full swimming pool. And we went in there, and then we went on the bit where there's like the kids can run around, and there's water firing out of everywhere. And they've got a wave machine, and then there's these flumes that look mega. I never got to do any of the flumes because I ended up rowing. We did one, and then we wanted to do the next one, and it was me and Micah, but he kept wandering off, and he was going through this phase of just wandering off, and then nobody could find him, and it's stressing everybody out. And then you find that he was just like stood right next to you and hiding, being silly. So I had to give him proper told him off in the queue. I was like, you cannot wander off here. I was like, you're in water. If something goes wrong, you've got to stick with me. and there's two women behind me were listening to this conversation, and I don't know what went wrong or what happened with those two, but then me and Mike got to. There was like this massive queue. We had our inflatable because you had to get your inflatable, queue with the inflatable.
Ride, yeah.
So we're queuing with this inflatable, and we got to the front of the queue, but there was a gap where people were walking through. These two girls came straight off a flume and went to take the inflatable off us. And I think they thought, they didn't do it on purpose. I think they thought that we were looking to pass it to them. I said, no, we're just going on. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine, sorry. I said, the queue's all the way back there. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. Anyway, we come down, me and Mike did the second go on this slide. So we'd only done two. So it was the first one, then we went on this second one. And as I came out of the water, this woman is waiting, lifeguard, in the water and starts yelling at me in front of Micah, saying, you will pass that flume that inflatable to another person. If somebody wants it, you give it to them. And I proper yelling. I was like, what are you on about? I said, I've only had one. No, you haven't. I was like, I flipping know what I have and haven't done. Oh, you know what I'm like, get my haunches. And one, I was annoyed the way she spoke to me in front of Micah. There was no need for that. And two, she was lying. So this
is a lifeguard.
This is a lifeguard. So I went back up. I said, excuse me. I said, what's happened? Oh, we've had complaints from other people about you. And I was like, right. What have they said? Well, that you're constantly going on the rides and you won't give the inflatable to anybody. And I said, we've only been on that one, and this is the next one. We haven't done those two. Like, we haven't even had a go. This is our first go. Well, I don't care. I'm not interested. Just do as you're told. I was like, I beg your pardon. And that was it. I said, no. I said, I'm not flipping doing as I'm told, because that's not true. I said, who said it? And she was, and then this woman came forward. I said, what are you on about? I said, we've only just got here. Well, you didn't give that inflatable. I said, because we queued up. You were stood behind me. You had an inflatable. You give her yours. You've been here longer than me, I'm assuming. No, you've been on here. You've been on that one and that one and that one. I said, well, check the CCTV then. Oh, we're not going to do that. And I was like, yeah, we are going to do that. Anyway, then I went on. This woman was like, this lifeguard woman was like being an absolute Karen as well. And I just thought, and Liz was like, oh, come on this one. And I was just like, so I went up on this other ride. And as we went up, I said to Liz, I'm getting Karen by, and she was like, by who? And I said, that woman there. And then she then made another complaint because I only pointed at her because I was talking to Liz. I was like, that woman there. She went and made a complaint to the lifeguard that I was flipping her off and swearing at her. And I was like, so I came down the next flume. I got shouted at again by the same woman. And I was like, right, I'm done. Get your manager. Get your manager. And every time she says that, get your manager. And then this other lifeguard came out. And by this time, I'm getting angry. And he's like, look, just take the warning. No one's saying that you have to leave. Just take the warning. I was like, who's talking to you? I was like, I'm not talking to you. I said, why are you joining the conversation? And I'm mad. I'm stood there in my swimming shorts and I'm flipping fuming. Liz is like, please don't kick off, Cole. And I'm like, I'm going to hit anybody. I feel like it, but I'm not going to hit anybody. Anyway, finally the manager comes down because there's a crowd of people gathering. And everything she said, I was like, that's not true. And I was able to unwind it. And I said, so if I make an accusation about this guy here, because it was just some random stood there like listening, I said that he tried to touch my wife's bum. Are you going to just take my word for it and just kick him out? Well, no, we'd have to check it. Right. Well, then you'll have to check what this Karen's telling me. And I kept referring to her as Karen. And anyway, the guy came out, and he was the manager. He was really good, actually. And I said, she's lying, and the lifeguard is like being like just like really rude. And that was the other comment. She made a comment about Micah. It's not even your kid, because Micah's like
Yeah.
of colour. And I was like, honestly, it's taken me everything not to smack you in the mouth. And I was like furious. Anyway, he went and checked the cameras, and he said, yeah, he said everything you said is true. And then this woman, wherever we went, she followed us around with her daughter. And I was like, any minute now. And I said to him, I said, get her out. I said, because if she comes near me or my kids, I can't tell you what I might do. So anyway, he ended up going and saying, will you stop following them about? But she didn't. She carried on. And then eventually she had to go. But we never got to ride all the rides. And then they said, oh, you can have a free, come back another time for free. And then it went bust. So that was the end of that. But yeah, it was an awful experience.
Oh.
We were really looking forward to it, and we'd really stretched ourselves to buy those tickets. And then she ruined the whole experience.
You see videos of it, don't you, of those things, and I just think, I don't understand these people, and I
No,
am like so grateful that I have not had
that was
that.
weird.
Like, what? And you see it, and you're like, why are you trying to ruin that? Like, what is going on in your brain?
Yeah. Well, he said he could see these two women behind us conspiring, like literally, and pointing and this, that, and the other. And then the two girls came up, and he said, yeah, you were exactly right. And then they were at each other again. And then they started the whole thing. They went to a lifeguard, and it was
They obviously thought they could. Yeah, it's like I don't get it. Like, you
weird.
see stuff, don't you, sometimes, and you think, like, what? Why is that person done that? What an idiot! But ultimately, you just go, well, like, say for example, there was someone with his kid in front of me, and I thought that cheeky swine is just going and refusing to give up his inflatable. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's one dude who's being a bit of an idiot.
I don't think I could be bothered.
There's hundreds of people in here handing off their inflatables.
Yeah,
It's annoying, but why? Whereas you get other people that are like, no, I'm happy. I am more than happy to almost ruin my own day
yeah, to
to
ruin
go to
some.
town about this.
But Lids was like, you wouldn't let it go. I was like, no, I'm not letting it go. And I said I had
No,
a
see,
point to prove to the kids.
they tried to Karen and didn't know that they were meeting another Karen.
Exactly.
Karen who uses her powers for good.
I do. I use my Karen powers for good
And they were like, they probably do stuff like that to other people.
and get freebies and get away with it.
And then they met, like, someone was like, no,
No.
my Karen powers are greater than your Karen
Yeah,
powers.
yeah.
Let's go to town.
Al's right. For those that don't know, I am like ruthless when it comes to injustice.
There's nothing better than a Karen that uses their powers for good. Unfortunately, so many of them use them for evil.
Yeah, or just self gain.
But often it's for evil because the problem with most Karens is they feel like they have the moral high ground
Yeah,
for whatever reason. Like, and then you can't. For most people who don't have that Karen power, you're almost helpless against them because you're like, I don't understand. I'm just gonna leave. Like, you are too committed,
yeah,
and I just want to have a nice day.
yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
See, I couldn't, I wouldn't want to do anything like that to somebody. Not like that. I just don't understand. I'm like, the only thing I can think is that person has never really been punched in the face properly, because I have. I've been like properly. I've been beat up. I've been in big fights. I've won some. I've lost some. And I think when you've had a few scraps, you realise you don't push people.
There's consequences.
Like, you've just lost the argument. Everybody knows you lied. The lifeguard's in trouble. She got fired. She literally lost her job over that. And
Yeah, but that's the balance in it. You'll meet people who are adults, full blown adults, and they still think that nothing's their fault.
Well, that's what she was like.
Yeah, like,
But
and they'll
weird.
go away, and they'll be angry at you. You know, you meet these people, don't you, that have got like everybody in their past is an idiot,
Yeah.
and you're like,
You're only a bad neighbour,
yeah,
like,
I was saying it. Like, if
once.
you have one bad neighbor, that's horrible. If you have
Yeah.
two bad neighbors, that's an awful coincidence. If you have three bad neighbors, then maybe you need to consider that you're
You're
the
the
bad
bad
neighbor.
neighbour. Oh, man. You and me have both had actual real bad neighbours, though.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I feel for those people out there that have bad neighbours.
It's horrible because your house, like Dickens said, an Englishman's home is his castle. Like, you want your home to be a place of peace
Mm,
and a place of safety. And when you've got a horrible neighbor,
yeah, it's awful.
yeah, and like you say, a lot of them have that Karen energy where they just don't seem to care. They're happy to they're happy to. oh, Actually, I wouldn't say they're happy to ruin their day. It's like their day is more joy filled when they've spent it trying to make your day miserable.
Yeah, because they feed off the narcissistic feelings.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
See where my Karen energy I don't get any pleasure out of that. The only pleasure I get is the fact that justice is served. Like somebody's done something, like those guys that tried to steal my parents' house and
Yeah.
their money and everything. And even then, I showed mercy in the end because I could have kept going, but I stopped. So I think that with these other people, well, it's where if they're a sociopath or a narcissist, they feed off that.
Yeah, I mean those.
They
Yeah, like you
need
say,
that to keep going, don't
and
they?
that's the thing is you can't apply logic and common sense to that because that's a genuinely that's a disorder. They have like something wrong with them,
Mm.
and
I
they're
think
unable to see it.
I think my level of Karenism is quite creative though.
Oh yeah, oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to get somebody their car back at the moment that have been scammed with an auction house, and their car is stuck there, and they've been
Well, they
uh,
bought it.
no. So this company basically scams people out of their classic cars, gets them to put them in their auction, and then there's no one really there to buy the cars. They're not bothered about that. They just want the fees. So they convince them to sell the cars no reserve. So the cars go for peanuts, but then they're winning their commission from these cars. But this one particular guy, they sold one of his cars, never gave him the money for it. The other car, he ended up like, I don't want my car to sell for that because I'll basically be selling an AMG Mercedes for like $3,000. Bought his own car. They still wanted to charge him the fees, but then he had esophagus cancer, ended up in ICU, and so whilst he was in ICU, they bumped a load of extra charges on that was completely spurious, and knowing he was in ICU, sent a county court judgment knowing that he couldn't fight it and just a spurious figure made up on it. So now they've got his car. He hasn't worked. He's selling his cars because he hasn't worked
Oh, how
because of the
horrible!
cancer. So he needs the money out of the cars so that he can survive. And he's like, it doesn't matter about the cars, I just need the money. And these two guys are scamming people. So I'm trying to get his car back, but like I've got to go on holiday, so I need to make a video for him, which I plan on doing this week. But what I've done a few on it, and people are shocked. But my idea, this is how I think sometimes you've got to look at stuff. I can get the guys together to go and get the car out of there, but we will probably get in trouble. So I don't really want to go down that route.
No.
So I came up with a better idea. So I'm going to start a GoFundMe for my guy to get the money to give to these clowns so that we can release the car. And then we're going to go down with a group of people and we're going to film it and we're going to get the car out. But I'm going to try and appeal to the car community that we have a big convoy. And anybody that's got a car, anybody that's into cars, classic cars, race cars, whatever, we have a big car show for him because obviously he's not well, and he's had some bad news since. So we have a big like send off for him, but we do it in and around the area where these guys live and work. So it raises a bit of awareness about what they're like.
Nice.
So
that is creative.
That is creative, isn't it?
It's,
So, and nobody gets hurt. They get their scam money. We get publicity to make sure other people don't do these dumb things.
Yeah, don't use them ever again.
Yeah.
That's just people. Some people, thankfully they're the minority, but there are so many people that are just really horrible. Like really horrible human beings. Like
Evil.
they're just only out for themselves, and they cannot comprehend the hurt that they cause.
Yeah.
You know, like these people that, like these builders that don't do proper jobs, or just leave things half undone, or even the other side of the coin where customers refuse to pay when they've had the work done.
Yeah.
Like people are just out, just like being awful to people.
Yeah.
And
I remember my dad getting ripped off by a guy, and he lived at the end of our street. Mr. Patel, his name was.
I bet that didn't go down well. Your dad was not a man to.
Oh no.
No.
And he went in and pushed this guy aside. The minute, I think the guy sent his wife, because he was a doctor, this bloke, sent his wife to open the door because he didn't want to come to the door to my dad. And as she opened the door, he just walked straight in with me behind him. And I was only a teenager, young. Well, I think I was only about 10 or 11 then. And he just went in the house and he started taking everything down that he put in. And like literally got the cable on the wall and just flipping ragged it straight out the wall. Straight out. I was like, flipping heck. And they were like, oh, no, we're phoning the police. It was like, you can do what you like. You haven't paid for it. I want my stuff back. So, yeah, he ripped it all out. Everything.
Yeah,
just took the whole lot out.
Seen like builders tear up the driveway they've put in, or take down the garden wall because the customer refused to pay for it.
And then my dad had me run all the stuff back to our garage. That's how close we were. It was like across the road. And I was like, he was pulling on the cables out, ripped the mattresses out, you know, where the chip out in the wall.
Yeah.
But he pulled them out, boom, boom, out the wall. And police turned up, and they were like, well, you haven't paid him. Now, in this day and age,
yes, that wouldn't maybe go.
It wouldn't fly now. No. But then they were like, well, yeah, you haven't paid for it, and that's his stuff. So he's not beating you up. He's not hurting you. Like, what do you want to he's just getting his stuff out. So it's it's not breach of the peace. So yeah, they just let him take all his stuff out. We were there and we ripped everything out, left it all in tatters. But he only took what was his. And then we went back and that was that. And I said to Dad, I was like, flipping out. He was like, well, I see is literally, we would come out of our street and this guy's massive bungalow was there. And he's like, I could not face looking at that every day, knowing that I hadn't been paid for any of the work that I did. He said I couldn't live with myself. So it was either that or worse. So I was like, and now as I'm older, I'm like, I flipping get it, Dad. I so get it. There's those things, isn't there, when you're in bed at night and then you're like, just starts to boil your blood, doesn't it? And
it
happened like 4 years ago. And you're like, why have I not let this go?
Yeah.
It was really funny.
It is, yeah, it's funny.
Oh, we've gone 13 minutes over, so we're going to end this wonderful podcast.
Yes.
Is there a conclusion to this, Lau?
I don't know. Was
there an overriding theme that ran through this?
Yeah. Trust God.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Because we never talked about it, did we? But we've got a wealth of experience, of testimonies, as you'd say in the Christian world, of times when you do trust God, and it all just works out. Like it all just like every bit happened, and things that you didn't even know you wanted, you got. You know, be actively pursuing God, and my life is testimony that he'll do the rest. Yeah, absolutely. Amen to that. And when I'm on holiday, I'll stick a short up from holiday so you can see where we are. Nice. So that'll be a bit of fun. So yeah. Cool. God bless everybody. We'll catch you on the flip flop. Peace out. Amen.